What makes a woman truly unforgettable after 60? Is it smooth skin, perfect makeup, a flawless wardrobe? While those things can add polish, they are not what leaves a lasting impression. The truth is, beyond the surface, what draws people in, what makes them pause and admire, is something far deeper: grace. Think about the women you've met who leave you inspired. They may not have the most expensive clothes or the tightest skin, yet there's something magnetic about them. They carry themselves with calm confidence. They smile warmly. They move with ease. They radiate grace. And grace is more powerful than any cream, procedure, or fashion trend. It's not about trying to look younger. It's about looking timeless. After 60, beauty changes. The standards of youth no longer define us. And that's not a loss, it's a gift. This is a stage where you can stop chasing perfection and instead embrace the qualities that make you truly radiant. Grace is elegance mixed with kindness, strength softened by gentleness, confidence without arrogance. It is what turns wrinkles into wisdom lines, what makes silver hair shine with dignity, what transforms presence into poetry. In this video, we'll explore why grace is the most powerful form of beauty after 60, how it redefines attractiveness, and how you can embody it in your everyday life. Because when all is said and done, grace is the glow that never fades. Number one, redefining beauty after 60. For most of our lives, society teaches us that beauty is about youth: smooth skin, a slim figure, and features untouched by time. But when we cross 60, something remarkable happens. Those old definitions no longer apply. And that's not a loss, it's a liberation. True beauty after 60 is not measured in wrinkle-free faces or designer wardrobes. It's measured in presence, character, and the way you make others feel. And this is where grace comes in. Grace is the great redefinition of beauty. While physical looks naturally change, grace allows you to stay radiant in a way that age cannot take away. A woman who has grace can walk into a room and command attention, not because of flashy clothing or youthful features, but because of the calm confidence she carries within herself. Grace redefines attractiveness as something timeless, something that doesn't fade when years pass. Think about it. Youth can be charming, but grace is captivating. A 25-year-old may turn heads, but a graceful woman of 65 or 70 can silence a room with her presence. Why? Because grace speaks of wisdom, self-acceptance, and dignity. It tells the world, I know who I am and I don't need to prove it. This is the freedom of aging beautifully, not needing to compete with younger generations, but embodying a form of beauty that only comes with experience. Grace redefines what it means to be truly attractive, showing that age is not a barrier, but a new canvas on which elegance and depth can shine. 2. Grace as confidence and simplicity. Grace is often misunderstood as something fancy, an expensive dress, polished manners, or a glamorous lifestyle. But in reality, grace shines brightest in simplicity. It's not about adding more layers to impress others. It's about carrying yourself with quiet confidence, even in the most ordinary moments. A graceful woman doesn't need to shout for attention. Her calm presence naturally draws it in. Confidence and simplicity is about knowing your worth without needing validation. It shows in the way you smile at a stranger, the way you walk with steady steps, the way you sit tall without stiffness.
Graceful women are not trying to prove anything. They radiate quiet self assurance that whispers, I am enough. And that's more beautiful than any accessory you could wear. Think of women who inspire you. Chances are, it's not because of flashy jewelry or bold outfits. It's because they carry themselves with poise. Grace makes a plain outfit elegant, turns an ordinary gesture into something memorable, and gives even the simplest moment a touch of refinement. After 60, this kind of beauty becomes even more powerful. You don't need to compete with trends or hide behind layers of makeup. Instead, simplicity becomes your strength. Grace transforms the everyday into something extraordinary, and that's what makes you magnetic. True confidence doesn't scream, it flows quietly like water, steady and unshakable. That is the beauty of grace and simplicity.
Number 3, grace in relationships and communication. Grace doesn't just change how you carry yourself, it transforms how you connect with others. After 60, many women discover that true beauty isn't about being noticed, but about making others feel seen, heard, and valued. And that's exactly what grace in relationships does. It makes people feel comfortable in your presence. A graceful woman listens more than she speaks, not because she has nothing to say, but because she values what others bring to the conversation. Her words are thoughtful, never harsh or cutting, even when she disagrees. She knows that kindness in communication leaves a deeper impression than being right. And when she does speak, people listen, not because her voice is loud, but because it carries wisdom and warmth. Think of the difference it makes when someone responds with patience instead of irritation, with understanding instead of judgment. That's the power of grace. It builds bridges instead of walls. In family life, friendships, and even casual encounters, grace strengthens bonds. It's why people gravitate toward graceful women because they feel uplifted, not drained, after being around them. This kind of beauty is magnetic because it touches the heart. Youthful looks may catch the eye, but grace in communication captures loyalty, trust, and admiration. And after 60, when life is rich with experiences and lessons, this form of beauty shines even brighter. Grace allows you to speak with compassion, listen with empathy, and leave behind not just an impression, but a legacy. 4. Grace as emotional strength. Too often, people mistake grace for fragility, as if it's about being delicate, soft spoken, or submissive. But the truth is, grace is a form of strength, perhaps the most powerful kind. After 60, life has already tested you in countless ways. Raising families, building careers, surviving losses, adapting to change. Through those experiences, a deeper kind of strength emerges, one that doesn't need to shout or fight. It simply is. That is grace. Grace shows itself in how you respond, not just when life is easy, but when it's hard. It's choosing dignity when faced with criticism, calmness when surrounded by chaos, and resilience when life throws challenges your way. A graceful woman knows she doesn't control everything, but she controls her reaction. That quiet control is far more beautiful than anger or bitterness could ever be. Think about the people you admire most. Often, it's not because they've never struggled, it's because they face struggles with courage and composure. Grace allows you to stand tall without arrogance, to endure without complaint, and to love without condition, even after hardship. This emotional strength radiates outward. Others see it in the way you carry yourself, the way you comfort instead of criticize, and the way you move through challenges without losing your warmth. And that makes grace magnetic
because true strength wrapped in gentleness is unforgettable. 5. The visible glow of grace. One of the most fascinating things about grace is that it doesn't just live inside you, it shows on the outside. A graceful woman has a glow that no cream or cosmetic procedure can create. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. When you live with ease, when your heart is at peace, when you move with kindness, it changes how you look to others. People notice the light in your eyes, the warmth in your smile, and the calmness in your gestures. That is grace made visible. Think about how laughter lines soften a face, how silver hair shines when worn with pride, or how relaxed posture radiates serenity. These are not flaws, they are features of a life well lived. Grace allows you to wear them proudly, turning what some call signs of aging into badges of wisdom and beauty. Instead of chasing youth, grace transforms age into elegance. Even style choices reflect this. A graceful woman doesn't need loud, flashy clothing to stand out. Instead, her elegance is seen in the way she chooses timeless pieces, carries herself upright, and adds small details that show self-respect. Her beauty doesn't demand attention, it invites it naturally. The visible glow of grace is subtle but powerful. It's why people describe some older women as radiant or glowing, even without makeup. That radiance doesn't come from hiding age, it comes from embracing it. Grace makes every feature, every wrinkle, every smile line, every strand of silver look beautiful because it's not about hiding time, but about showing how well you've lived it. 6. Cultivating grace in daily life. Grace isn't something reserved for a chosen few. It's a quality any woman can nurture, no matter her background, age, or circumstances. And after 60, cultivating grace is less about adding to your life and more about refining it. It's in the choices you make every day, in the little habits that slowly build into presence, poise, and beauty. Start with slowing down. Grace rarely shows up in rushed, frantic energy. When you move with intention, whether walking into a room, setting a table, or speaking with someone, you radiate calmness that others feel instantly. Practice pausing before reacting, breathing before speaking, and moving with steady ease. Next, lean into gratitude. A grateful heart changes your energy, softens your words, and lifts your expression. Instead of focusing on what's missing, celebrate what's here. The laughter of loved ones, the wisdom of your years, the simple joys of everyday life. Gratitude naturally brings grace into your posture and presence. Style can also play a role. Grace isn't about extravagance, it's about elegant simplicity. Well-fit clothes, gentle colors, a soft smile. These create harmony that feels effortless. Pair that with good posture and eye contact, and you've already transformed how the world perceives you. Finally, grace grows in kindness. A kind gesture, a patient response, or a warm smile is often remembered longer than appearances. When you choose kindness, you leave a graceful mark on everyone you meet. The truth is, grace isn't something you wait for, it's something you practice. And with practice, it becomes second nature until it feels as natural as breathing. 7. Grace as a legacy. One of the most powerful truths about grace is that it doesn't stop with you. It ripples outward, leaving an impression that lasts long after you've walked out of the room. Unlike fleeting beauty trends or material possessions, grace becomes part of your legacy. It is how people remember you, speak of you, and feel when they think about you. At 60 and beyond, you've lived through joys, hardships, love, and loss. Each of those experiences has shaped your strength, but grace allows that strength to shine in a way that uplifts others. When younger generations see a woman who handles life's challenges with dignity and warmth, they learn that age is not a decline, but an ascension into a higher kind of beauty. You become a living role model, showing that true elegance isn't loud or demanding attention, but quietly powerful and deeply magnetic. Think about it. Your family, friends, and even strangers will remember less about the exact outfit you wore or the hairstyle you had, but they will always remember the way you made them feel respected, heard, comforted, or inspired. That is the gift of grace. It's not about perfection, but about presence. It's not about hiding your age, but about embodying the richness it has brought you. By carrying yourself with grace, you're passing on a timeless lesson that beauty is not something we chase, but something we nurture within. And when that inner grace shines, it doesn't just belong to you, it becomes part of your lasting story in the lives of others. So, after exploring why grace is the most powerful form of beauty after 60, let's bring it all together. True beauty isn't about erasing wrinkles, pretending to be younger, or chasing impossible standards. It's about radiating the calm, kindness, and quiet confidence that only comes with life experience. Grace is magnetic. It softens sharp moments, turns interactions into connections, and makes people lean toward you because they feel at peace in your presence. When you live with grace, you're showing the world that aging isn't a loss, it's a gain in wisdom, in self awareness, in the ability to rise above trauma and embrace joy. And here's the most liberating truth: grace costs nothing, yet it enriches everything. It doesn't come from beauty creams or expensive jewelry. It comes from the way you smile at a stranger, the patience in your tone, the lightness in your steps, and the way you choose to treat yourself and others with respect. The world often tells women to compete, to cling to youth, to worry about being relevant. But with grace, you prove that relevance has nothing to do with age. It has everything to do with presence. You're not trying to stand out by force. You stand out because you embody something deeper, something timeless. So, as you move through this next chapter, let grace be your signature. Let it be the invisible crown you wear every day. Because beauty fades, trends come and go, but grace grows stronger with time, and it makes you unforgettable.